Hi there, everyone. Lars and Scott back with another review and analysis for Dandadan, brought to you by Camille's Harem, a channel for novice authors by novice authors. And because writing is an adventure, it's more fun with friends. And in this episode, we learn that if you need to stop a forest fire or even a volcanic explosion, just get your hands on some of that great Mongolian deathworm goop. And maybe also a little sacred spring. Maybe it's the combination of the two that solves it all. But that is how you do it.
Honestly, like that goop was the true MVP of this episode. I mean, I know Seiko did a lot, but that goop, it saved our hopes and dreams. It it made a difference. I mean, last episode I was hating the goop, but this episode, I I I could I could get past my differences with it.
This episode made you a believer in the goop.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, before we start really handing out the MVP trophy, let's also appreciate Momo, who was running through the entire town in this episode without swinging her arms. That's hardcore.
True. Very true. Oh man. I so much happened this episode. Like it's truly what Dandadan's best at. Because like you get down to the nitty-gritty of what's going on in each of the arcs, and you have like the culmination in an episode that just shines and goes so many different directions, and it's just so bloody entertaining that like it's what makes me watch this show. This episode was so good.
It really was. And this is an episode that brings together nearly every adventure, not all their adventures, because we were missing the Serpos and we're missing Ira as far as like major contributors within the story thus far, but nearly every other story came together in this finale to this particular arc. There's still a lot to resolve going forward, but whoo, this was the climax, and it was a pretty dang good one.
I agree.
So let's go over the events of this episode real quick before we start breaking things down. With the Mongolian deathworm defeated, its corpse just hanging on out there, the volcano has erupted. The Kato clan is just berating Momo, saying it's all her fault that the town is going to be destroyed. Everyone's fleeing. It's doom and gloom. And then it clicks for Momo. It's like, wait a second. There's got to be a way to actually do something about this. This death worm was not the god that was preventing the volcano from erupting. Surely there was something in the old stories, the old legends about the volcano. And what she came to realize is that more so than anything, the legend was actually warning people about how to recognize that the volcano was about to erupt. For instance, geysers that would throw up rainbows as they're spouting. The volcano is showing some early activity. Maybe people need to get away. And it's like, but wait, if there's a massive source of water being from the geysers, I can channel that through the worm. And so she grabs the worm and starts running through town to slam its butt onto the spring that she had helped to destroy when the guys from the Kato clan were attempting to attack her. And that Turbo Granny's extra luck helped to just ruin. So Turbo Granny's luck coming into play yet again because the geyser's continuing to spew. She plops the worm right on top of it and can now use it as a giant hose to put out the fires. The only problem, though, is that the Kato clan thinks that she is absolutely disrespecting the corpse of their god. They are chasing her through the streets, through the woods, and they begin attacking her, trying to prevent her from doing some good and putting out the fires. They've even gone so far as to already turn their backs on the great serpent, and they're going to want to sacrifice Momo to the volcano god in order to put an end to all of this. But before they can even get close to laying a hand on her again, the evil eye returns and just begins wrecking everyone, wrecking the corpse of the great serpent god, wrecking Grandma Kato, twisting her arm back in a really sickening way. No one can lay a finger on him until the head standing priest shows up and starts helping them out. Now, granted, yes, he's already been there warding off the clan, but he brings some much needed muscle to help prevent the evil eye from just completely overwhelming the clan and Momo, who are by this point are pretty exhausted. But it doesn't matter because the evil eye is, even though he's been beaten by Okarun, is back to seemingly 100% and is only stopped yet again when Grandma Seiko shows up surfing on Taro's body. And she's coming down in a tractor beam. And we get this awesome fight with the mantis shrimp guy, with Grandma Seiko, and with Taro, all playing a role in isolating the evil eye from the rest of the group, and then using Taro to shatter when the evil eye would just be like, you're easy to beat. And sure enough, Taro shatters, but this allows him then to create a seal, a full seal around the evil eye, trapping him with all of the charms that Grandma Seiko has made ahead of time. And now, well, everything is still on fire, the magma's still going, but luckily enough, there's a sweet little crab kid up there in the UFO, picks up the dead Mongolian death worm, and then proceeds to just shower the place with muck, putting out all the fires, putting out the magma. It seems like the day is saved and everything is great, but then Momo realizes, wait a second, what about Okarun? And she goes tearing it right back up that super steep hill. I mean, this girl's got some lungs and legs on her. And when she arrives where the house once was, there's just this pit of magma. And she wants to do something to try to save Okarun. She feels like she's absolutely failed him, but the UFO is able to pull up this cocoon of worm muck, and inside is Okarun and Turbo Granny. Momo rips it open. She embraces Okarun. They are reunited. It's a very beautiful, heartfelt moment, and that is where the episode ends.
Oh man, such a wonderful episode. I loved it so much. Loved it. Oh man, and there's so much to talk about this episode. Like, where do we even start?
Let's start. I would say let's start with the Kato clan, because there's some stuff to talk about as far as they are concerned before we move on to the big things.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I still hate them. I hate their guts. But
Yes.
like, there's a little tiny bit of redemption in there this episode. Only a little bit.
Only a little bit, that they at least don't abandon Momo to the evil eye in that fight. What I would say about them, and I think this is important in order to understand what exactly happened in this episode, Momo's realization, and what's led up to all of this, is that the Kato clan, whether for good or for ill in the beginning with their beliefs, thought that what they were doing was the right thing by sacrificing someone to prevent the volcano from erupting and consuming the town. And we talked about this, what was it, like an episode or two ago, about how people would be sacrificed way back in the day in Japan for building bridges. So there's precedence for this. It's just that this practice has continued on for so many hundreds of years, destroying so many lives, that at this point it's evil. And they're so steeped in this tradition that they refuse to see the obvious. Once Momo figures it out, which is another brilliant Momo moment, bringing together all of the clues. And it's like, okay, the legends existed, like so many legends do throughout world history, to help explain to people why something is the way that it is. The unfortunate thing is that we oftentimes get too wrapped up in whatever side of the story that we really enjoy, our own personal interpretation, rather than what was originally meant. That the legend can take on a completely different life of its own. And usually it's not nefarious, but in this case it is. And that's the problem with the Kato clan, is that they refuse to adjust course when reality is slapping them in the face. The only course that they adjust is just to go even further into their depravity by saying, well, if the great serpent god's dead, We've got the volcano god.
And like Momo full on like accuses them of just switching their faith just instantly, and you're like, Keto Clan, y'all don't have a lot of faith in anything, do you? But like the thing is, the stuff they've been doing is just making the situation worse ultimately. Like it hasn't actually done anything, and they've created a full-on evil entity that's like set on killing all of humanity. They It's gonna take a lot to get fully redeemed from this. But like when they join the fight, when Evil Eye pops back up, I was just happy to see Jennifer Lopez on a Conda again.
Oh yeah.
And like, dang, the mama of the Keto Clan is tough. Like, Evil Eye full on Falconer tears her arm off, and like she still goes at him.
Yeah, she's a fierce woman. And
Mm-hmm.
well, all the stuff, like crazy enough, all the stuff that was being said about her in the previous episodes wasn't just bluster and bravado. Like there's skill and strength to back that up.
But like that whole fight, like and it's like most of the fights in this show, it's all about surviving to the next moment. Like they are completely outclassed by Evil Eye the entire time in this. Well, pretty much the only time Evil Eye has been outclassed is by Seiko outsmarting him and by Okarun overpowering him.
Mm-hmm.
And like apparently he was able to recover pretty easily from Okarun overpowering him at that time. So he's a tough baddie.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we're gonna see more of him.
Oh, we definitely are. And one of the things to point out about Evil Eye is, like, again, how quickly he recovers and just how powerful he is he is an incredible threat to the friends, to that whole party. If given an inch, he will take their lives. And that's going to be going forward for probably the next maybe 3 episodes, would be my guess, will probably be what encompasses them trying to figure out what to do with this entity.
Oh wow. Okay. That's interesting. Oh, but like Granny Seiko showing up and saving the day was like just her showing up in the first place. Such the comedic timing, because like we're in this doom and gloom serious moment, and out of nowhere suddenly there's an alien ship with Granny riding on a mannequin that's like going way too slow to get to the ground. And it's just like the timing that's like built up this entire time up to this point is completely shattered as we're just sitting there watching Granny Seiko complain as the alien kid sings. It like subverts the entire show, because like you don't go into like a battle anime expecting it to slow down ever until the fight's actually over. Like you don't go into Solo Leveling and expect like the fight to just suddenly stop for like some comedic little bit. And it's not just like little bit, it's like what, 2 or 3 minutes. We're just like, dang, this is a lot of runtime. Like, what's like?
Yeah, but you can't stop laughing.
True. I was giggling. I was giggling for sure. But that's the beauty of it, because it rewires your brain. You're so doom and gloom. You're like, oh crap, they've had everything against them up to this point. How do they overcome it? And then the second you're laughing at the situation, it rewires your brain to the point is like, oh, we're safe now. It's okay. Like there's hope. And it's so beautifully done. It's such a great storytelling way to handle storytelling. And it's one of the things I love about anime, because it's not afraid to mess with those kind of expectations. I mean, I say there's a lot of battle anime, they do that, but like there's a lot of times where they're gonna mess with you in that way, and I love it.
So I think a way of putting is that so many times battle stories want to focus on those hyper emotions of fear, of just the sheer power of violence itself, or the power of sadness, or the or the power of elation, and when like the hero is finally turning the tide against the villain, but the power of humor in a fight. And there are plenty of stories that use that. Very rarely, though, is it taken to this kind of an extent. I think a good comparison actually is to look at The Princess Bride, where there is so much humor wrapped up in Wesley going up against Inigo, against Fezzik, and against Vicini. There's so much humor in those scenes, but they are also intense at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that humor, I think, really helps to ingrain that moment in your mind, that when you think about the humor, you also begin to subconsciously, until you consciously think also about the stakes involved, the seriousness that lifts the humor.
And like both together, when handled well, they support each other. They make a better story overall than if it was just one or the other. And it's part of why I love like watching Dandadan like this. Is like, oh crap, what's gonna happen next? Am I gonna laugh? Am I gonna cry? Am I gonna like be scared out of my mind? Like, let's see what's gonna happen next. I gotta know what happens next. Speaking of about to cry, the end of that episode, I'm like, oh crap, is Okarun gone? Like, and I know just for like continuity's sake, yeah, they're probably not gonna get rid of one of the main characters like that. Though there are shows that do that. But like, you get the idea. Like, it sets you up so well to feel Momo's like sadness and panic there after the fight with Evil Eye is over. Like, you're in the ride. You're right there with Momo as she's crying, as she's panicking that she wasn't able to make it there in time. So good. So good.
So good. I remember when I read this moment in the manga, this was a real page turner, because because even though you're like, oh well, of course Okarun's one of the main characters, he can't die off screen. The thing is that at this point the story has firmly established that there are consequences to choices, that characters can have moments of weakness, and that by now there are some hurts and some consequences that stick, like Okarun losing his balls. It's not something that's going to be easily fixed. Gigi is possessed. That's not going to be easily fixed. And so you're left worrying, what state is he going to be in? And then when Momo finds him and just he's okay, just that raw relief and happiness that isn't a gushing kind of happiness, but just almost an exhausted kind, because you've just been feeling so anxious. And we get to see just how tired Momo is in this moment, and that all the barriers come down. I think it's the most important thing, is that it's not just how she looks physically, but that she just is crying for relief. Momo's been through some very rough moments in the show already. And this is the most vulnerable that we've seen her, and that's because she is so relieved after everything she's gone through.
Right. Just like, and it's been something I've said for a long while now, but if you want to impress me with an anime episode, make me laugh and cry in the same episode. And this is it. Oh man.
So I saw a video recently, and I'm not bringing this up to rag on the YouTuber, but there's a YouTuber who was like, this is the moment where Momo has fallen in love with Okarun. As someone who's read the manga, I will tell you this is not the moment where Momo has fallen in love with Okarun. Momo's heart has already been sent racing by him multiple times. This, however, is not a moment to downplay in terms of their romantic progression. We know that Okarun really likes Momo, and we're pretty clear that Momo likes him. Rather, this is what I call a mile marker moment. This is one of those moments where like their relationship has progressed. And the only way it goes backwards is if the author decides to be dumb and forget that they even have a relationship, or if they actively regress it. This is a very important moment, and what this moment reassures them and us as the audience is that they mean so much to each other. And on top of that, they can rely on each other. They do rely on each other. From this point going forward throughout the rest of the story, like slight spoilers right here, but we won't see Momo and Okarun slip back into some of that silliness like what they had around the time that Ira was introduced, where there's a little bit of will they, won't they. Of course, they're going to miscommunicate, but the miscommunication isn't going to be as sophomoric, super silly, where you're all like, duh. That begins to pass into the background. Their relationship becomes more mature after this. And that's what I want to highlight as far as like what this episode represents in terms of romance. It's not that, oh, I'm so in love with you now. Rather, they've taken a very important step forward, because eventually this will lead to them being openly affectionate towards each other.
Right. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. Anything else we need to talk about?
Yeah, there's one more thing that I do want to bring up, and it is the intelligent way that the fight with Evil Eye is resolved.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
I mean...
Yeah. Take it away, Scott. Tell me your thoughts.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say, like, we're brought out of our, like, doom and gloom, like I was pointing out earlier, and then right back into the action. But this time, we've got Granny Seiko going all out with the help of the punching alien. I still can't remember his actual name. She calls him Kappa. I'll just call him Kappa.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the thing. She still thinks he's a Kappa after this. This whole UFO experience, she thinks that they're monsters working with gods. She refuses to accept they're aliens.
I love it. Anyway, like they tag team against Evil Eye, and like it's still a hard fight. It's very much a hard fight. But like she keeps going at it. But the thing is, the bat's just a tool in her hand. Like it's never been her main way of beating things. And you're like she's doing pretty good for herself, but like, is Granny Seiko coming in really going to make all that much of a difference until you realize why Toto's there in the first place and see the seal on the inside of his body, which, like, it just snaps into place. It makes so much sense from that point.
And there's an element to this fight that I'm going to say is not going to get enough notice, so I'm going to bring it up right here. Taro misses his first attempt. He misses his first attempt. And the reason why I really like that is because in this insanely quick, over-the-top scene where everyone is bringing their A game, a character can still make a mistake. And when it comes to writing action sequences, and again, as someone who loves action sequences and who loves writing them, it actually gets very, very tedious to have everyone perfectly execute all their moves without any mistakes. It's difficult because for you as the writer, you start mentally exhausting yourself trying to figure out how you're going to one-up the villain now, if the villain is perfect, in order for you to bring about a resolution. Or if the villain's meant to win, but the heroes are doing everything perfectly, it's the exact same issue. And having like a brief moment where a mistake is made can either play into ratcheting up the anxiety or even sometimes ratcheting up the humor, depending on how you play it off. So what this scene does is it doesn't just simply help to extend the fantastic musical number that's playing, but it goes to show that Evil Eye does not easily get taken down. He's dodging everyone as he's fighting Seiko. Oh, and so it takes Taro another pass to get up close, so that way Evil Eye's finally like, okay, you got close to me, let me punch you so that way I can get you out of the way, and then that activates the trap that Seiko had in place all along, and it's just a really great moment to show some true foresight on the part of the heroes, rather than just like, yes, after the fight, yes, as you see, push up their glasses, I was prepared for every contingency. Rather than the characters explaining it, we get to see it, but it's earned. So it's just, it's so good.
It really, and that's the big thing of it. Like this whole, everything that happens, everything that's built up, it's earned through like either sudden genius, like figuring things out, just pure physical effort. It's been a nonstop battle since the very beginning, honestly. And like so many ups and downs. You're suddenly like, oh crap, like how dare the Keto family do this? I mean, I don't think the Keto family did anything good. Honestly, the mom of the Keto family helping in the fight at the end, that's just self-preservation at that point. So I retract my redemption statement.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate. I'll just say this: it's not the last that we've seen of the Ketos.
No.
Yeah, yeah. They will appear again. The thing, though, happily for you, is that it's a long ways off.
Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I still don't like this.
Yeah, no. Oh, they're so awful. When they show up again, I was like, oh, come on! Why?
Oh no! Don't do it. Just don't do it. Stop.
Stop it. Well, I think that does that then for our breakdown of this episode.
I'm good.
Yeah. We'd now like to hear what your thoughts are. Please leave them in the comments below. Let us know what you thought about this episode, your thoughts and theories about things going forward. Did you think that we were off in our analysis? And yes, I will now admit right here that I was mispronouncing the name of the Keto clan for 5-6 minutes into the video. Ah, boy.
Yeah, at least you fixed it.
Yes. Yeah, there it is.
just go back when you're editing this and just put a really horrible dub line over the top of it.
We'll see. We'll see what I do. Okay. I'll have something. But
you're okay. You're good.
If you'd like to support us and try to convince me to get better at pronouncing characters' names, then you can subscribe. That gives wonderful motivation. And if you'd like to support us financially, what we do here, then checking out the books that we've published. Links for all of them are in the description below. That helps us out a ton. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining us on this incredible adventure that we call writing. And until the next video, y'all, tschüss.
Hokini.